welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So, as I have my pen in the way, it is week 2 of Every Bit Counts Challenge, and that's hosted by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. It's a collaboration where through the month of August you have to can, freeze, preserve something every day for the month of August so that you don't get behind or overwhelmed. So, I'm so excited because my week 1 video came out last week. This is week 2. So if you are enjoying these videos, I hope you're liking and subscribing because I'm gonna have a bunch of these coming out, including recipes, all that kind of stuff every single week. And follow me on the social medias because every day I'm posting what my daily thing is there. So let's go ahead and let's get into the intro so that I can get into what I had canned for this week 2.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so week 2. Week 2 has been a lot of fun. I have really enjoyed everything that I've done this week. I am actually going to follow my notes, y'all, this week. Remember, I kind of got a little sidetracked last week. But I am going to follow my notes. I'm going to read it, but I'm also still going to have the overlay videos of me doing it. If you want recipes, make sure to either look down below, because if there's recipes that I can attach, I'll attach them below, or leave me a comment and say, hey, Casey, leave the recipe, please, and I will. So, getting started, Fridays are always such a busy day for us here at the homestead because it's one of our farmers market days. So I needed something that I could do really easy, really quick. I had like 20 minutes. And I made some homemade creamer. Now, I usually do a lot more than just pint size because as you see, the creamer doesn't last that long. But I usually do it in either quarts or the half gallon, and I'll vacuum seal them with the vacuum sealer for the jars, and then I'm able to put it up and that lasts for a while. Again, it will last me through the winter once I do a half gallon one of the creamers. I do equal parts of my sweetener and my milk powder. My milk powder is always in my Amazon storefront. It's called Nido, and it's Nido, okay? But you also can get kind of fun other powders to add different flavors to it. Like I have done the pumpkin pie spice and made it a pumpkin pie kind of tasting creamer. I have done hazelnut extract. Now they have vanilla extract, hazelnut extract, powder. It's on Amazon. I'll leave it in the storefront. I'm also going to leave links down below for it. Adding that in there, I add in equal parts. So if I do a cup of the milk powder, a cup of the sweetener, then I'm going to do a tablespoon of the flavoring. I've also done it with the chocolate milk powder and added in like the hot cocoa, so it's like a mocha. I'm looking to see if there's the peppermint extract powder, so that it's like a peppermint mocha creamer, but we'll see. The good thing about this is you know what's going in it. All of the creamers from the store, there's so many preservatives. So I am going to make my own. It's healthier for me. I love my coffee and I'm not giving that up. So that is why I make my own creamer so that I can still enjoy it. So that was day 9. Day 10, I was a little more ambitious and went into canning some pickles and some okra. We didn't have much okra. We got some more okra today that's going to be processed, but we didn't have much. So I only got like 3 jars. But we had the last of my cucumbers. And so that did about, I think it was like 9 or 10 pints. So I did all of them mostly in chips. If you watch another one of my shorts, I've talked about that I just didn't get that good of a cucumber harvest this year. And so we did a lot of them in rounds so that we can have chips. And you can add these to charcuterie boards, burgers, sandwiches, all that kind of stuff. And that's what we use it for. So again, everybody knows I'm cheater, pumpkin eater. I use Miss Wages. The pickle packet. Again, that's in the Amazon storefront. I get it from Amazon because you can get multiple at a time. And my grocery store that's about 45 minutes away doesn't always have it. So that is why I do it that way. It's really simple. You add equal parts in of the white distilled vinegar. your water, and then the packets, bring it to a boil, and then you can put it over your raw packed cucumbers and okra. Let me just say that I do use store-bought distilled vinegar. I do make my own distilled vinegar, but you want to make sure that the pH level is where it's supposed to be and the acidity. For water bath canning it, it's just easier to go with the store-bought stuff because you know what level that's at, okay? So I am gonna say that I haven't tried, I think Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead did a little experiment on her last video on her homemade vinegars, which is where I actually learned how to do it from, and the store-bought one, and kind of figured it out that it wasn't high enough to do it and water bath can it. So take a look at that after you're done with this video. I'll leave her video for that right up in the corner. But that was day 10. So that was my ambitious water bath canning day. Again, I like to put vinegar in my water bath canner and in my pressure canner. It just keeps the jars nice and clean on the outside, and you don't get that film around the jars. I did use, of course, my faves 4-jar canning lids. There's always a link down below. Y'all know how much I love my 4-jar canning lids. It's the only thing I use now, and I've never had a canning lid that does 100% seal rate every single time. Like I don't ever with 4 jars have like one that doesn't pop or not. And funny story is I actually was canning a bunch of stuff, and that was before I got my big order of my 4-jar lids. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try to throw one. I think it was a Kerr, and I think I used a knockoff Walmart one. And I put it on there, and every single one of them, even though they sealed, when they got them into the pantry, I went and I did my check like I always do once a week, and it was a faulty seal. So don't let all your hard work go to waste. Just go ahead and get some 4 jars, stock up, put them in, use the link down below. Day 10. Okay, day 11. I've talked about it all the time on my channel, is that we are big Mexican eaters here at Ormsby Farm. Tacos, fajitas, fajita bowls, all of it, love it. And instead of having to buy the packets of the seasoning in the store, I always like to make my own seasoning. And so that's what I did on day 11. It was another one. Sundays are super busy usually with church, where I'm either back and forth doing stuff. So it was another kind of 20-25 minute preserving project that I had to get done. And I will leave the recipe for this down below. But I did a triple amount to put in here because I use about a tablespoon when I do stuff. If it's a big pound of ground beef, I may do 2. But this is great. You know what's in them. You know they're organic seasonings. And a lot of the seasonings that we use, I buy in bulk also. So I can bulk make taco seasoning and fajita seasoning for the whole entire winter. And I don't have to worry about running out because I've got it backed up in my pantry. So that was day 11. That was super easy. It was quick. Again, another busy day. But I got back to canning on day 12. And I told y'all in the last video, I was gonna be doing some salsa, and that's what Monday was. I went ahead and did a whole nother batch of the salsa. One thing that I do when my tomatoes go crazy, I core and I put them in freezer bags, and I put them in the freezer until I can do something with it. I'm not gonna overwhelm myself with doing 70 pounds a day of tomatoes doing something, because I have 9 billion other things that I have to do. So it's easy, you core it. I do not even blanch. I throw them straight into the freezer bag. I'll show a video right here. My freezer is still full of bags of tomatoes. And then that way, when I'm doing a project, like I did with the salsa, I can pull out a bag, and that's usually roughly this amount of tomatoes that I want to use to make a batch of salsa or ketchup or barbecue sauce or any tomato-based product that I want to make. So did that. My salsa recipe, I will leave down below. If I don't do it, make sure that you leave me a comment and say, Casey, you forgot to put the salsa recipe. But it's one of my favorites. We love salsa. Again, we love Mexican food. We do it sometimes twice a week here at Ormsby Farms. So being stocked up on salsa is a must. It's a must. And when we do parties, I usually go through 4 or 5 jars of salsa because guests are shoveling it into their face faster than I can get it on the table. So that was day 12, which is the salsa. Again, I'll leave the recipe down below. If you do it, make sure you tag me. Tag me on social media. I want to see what you think of the salsa recipe. How do you do your salsa? I'm just saying. I do, as you can tell, I blend it all up. Very Mexican style, very chili style. I don't like to do the chunkier salsa, which is more like a pico de gallo. Not a fan. I like it like sauce kind of thing. And then once you got it chilled with a chip, just perfect. Anyways, okay, day 13. I brought a couple things out. Now, day 13, we did kidney beans. Now, I love to can dried beans. It's kind of a rebel canner thing to do, but I've been doing it for a while. We use it for soups. We use it for chilies, all that kind of stuff during the winter. So I want to make sure that I have them ready because, listen, there ain't nothing worse than going to make your chili and seeing you don't have any canned beans, and then you have to wait because you got to soak the beans overnight, then you got to cook them, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff. This takes that problem out of the equation. So I did kidney beans this time because I use kidney and black beans usually in my chili. What you do for a pint-size jar is you do 1/2 cup of dried, rinsed, washed beans into the jar, fill it up with water. You can add seasoning if you want to. I know my friend Alicia over at Country Mama Musing does a fajita bean where she adds taco seasoning. And that would probably be good. Again, I use these for chilies, so I don't add anything but water and the beans. You're gonna pressure can it. I do it in my Nesco pressure canner, as you'll see on the screen. I love it. I'm able to get 5 jars in my Nesco. And then that's 5 jars for the winter to stock up. But as I said, I brought multiple ones because I do it with black beans. I also do it with baked beans. And I will do a video on making the baked beans in a jar because it's from dried beans. If you want to see it, definitely hit that thumbs up and leave me a comment and say, yes, Casey, we want to see the beans. Again, it's convenience. You can pop it out if you're doing a barbecue night, dump it, heat it back up. You got some great baked beans. So that was day 13, was my kidney beans for the chilies. I have those ready, stocked up. Again, I also used, you guessed it, well, maybe the camera didn't. There we go. My 4-jar lids. Day 14, I got back into the freezing of stuff. Not everything that I preserve is canned. Some is dehydrated, some is frozen. Some is kind of like this creamer and it's dehydrated stuff that I put in a jar. Day 14, one of the appetizers that we love to do, and our fig trees do amazing every year. And that's another thing that we harvest the figs. There are so many, I just throw them into freezer bags and put it into the freezer until I can do a project. And this was one of the projects. Now I have a bigger gallon bag full, but I'm gonna show them here. And it's bacon wrapped figs. I know when I posted it on Instagram, everybody was like, interesting. They're so good. It's sweet and savory and delicious, and we air fry it straight from frozen. So all I did was I cut the bacon into 3 equal parts. You wrap it around the frozen fig, flash freeze it on a cookie tray that I'm doing over 24 hours, and then you're able to pull them out and put them in bags and they won't stick together. That's the one reason that I do a lot of my flash freezing, is so that it won't stick together in the bag. I take the figs out, frozen, pop them into a preheated air fryer, 400 for 10 minutes. They're really, really, really good. Add on about 5 minutes if you like extra crispy of the bacon. But I've always had good turnout with the bacon. I think it's because it's frozen and it's air fried. I don't know what the magic is behind that, but everything turns out very crispy when I do it that way. No added oil, nothing. So that was day 14, was doing the bacon wrapped figs. So delicious, I'm so excited to have them. And then of course today is day 15. So it's not completely frozen yet, but I pulled it out just so y'all can see it. Can you read it? Oh, it's upside down. Way to go, Casey. Cream of chicken. So y'all, I love me some casseroles. I make casseroles all the time over the winter. I do a chicken noodle casserole that I will leave a video right here that I throw into the freezers for quick, busy nights. It's already made. You just got to pop it out. Frozen. 350 for 35 minutes, and it's delicioso. Let me just say delicioso, okay? But the cream of chicken, if you ever take the time to turn around the cream of mushroom or cream of celery or cream of chicken that you get at the grocery store, there's so many things that you don't even know how to pronounce. And I don't really necessarily want that in my food. So I found a recipe, which I will link down below because it's not my homemade recipe. It is a recipe that I found online for cream of chicken. And I was able to get 4 portions. Now I made some casserole for the freezers. So I was able to get 3 freezer bags done in some vacuum sealed bags. Now, let me tell you, I have not found a good recipe or a reliable source on canning cream of chicken. I know it can be done. I know it's very rebel because there's dairy in it, but me no care. But I just felt better this time doing freezer versions. And this amount right here, the reason I do it flat is because it's easier to store and easier to thaw when you put it out when it's actually frozen. It's not frozen. But it is a pint. So it is 2 of the little cans of the cream of chicken, which is usually what a recipe calls for. I can thaw it out, I can dump it into the casserole, and then it's bada bing, bada boom, ready to go. So I got 3 of those, so I'll able to do 3 casseroles over the winter. And it was really good, y'all. We got to try it right after I made it, and I was like sitting there like a fat kid with a spoon, like eating it out of the pot. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But yeah, that was day 15, was cream of chicken soup. So y'all, are y'all doing the Every Bit Counts challenge? If you are, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you're preserving for the winter. I'd love to hear from you. Tag me also on social media if you do it as well, if you join in on the fun. Be sure to be clicking that subscribe button because you'll be able to be notified if you hit the bell and choose the right kind of bell icon. I think it says all the time or certain videos. You'll be notified when new videos are dropped to my channel. Follow me on social media as well. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all at Ormsby Farm. And I will see y'all next week on week 3 of Every Bit Counts Challenge. All right, y'all. Hope you have a wonderful week. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.